Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Habitat House Party. Welcome to my house. I built this lavish home studio for you today. Anyway, my name is Tyler Wallach. I am an independent artist living in New York City, and it's really, really particularly special to see so many new people getting involved with Habitat for Humanity who don't have to put on a hard hat. I think it's extremely important that there's people out there that can do that work and to give the homeless homes, which is why we're all here. Maybe you can't get on a job site right now, maybe you don't feel comfortable, but trust me when I say that Habitat has already thought of so many ways to get you involved, keep you involved, and to get, a multifaceted, multicolored group of people together. Um, because that's really what it's all about. If we can come together and give homes to the homeless and, fulfill the needs of those who are needy, especially I'm an artist here living in New York City. So um, you really do see a large, gap between the income groups in the city. So it's nice to be able to give back. And one of the ways that I've been able to do that is through an initiative with Habitat for Humanity called Built with Pride. I moved here from Texas 10 years ago to live in New York City and pursue art. And as you'll see, my art style right here, I got here. They told us to wear muted tones. Don't want to distract anybody. I'm here to distract you. Okay, watch out. So it's fun, it's bright, it's colorful, it's emblematic of my personality. And the art really lends itself to, love, unity, and acceptance, which is, if that's not as close to Habitat's heart, then I don't know what is. So I brought one of my paintings here. And yes, I came to show and tell. So let me show and tell. I brought a couple of other paintings that I've done in the past. So here we've got sort of like a rainbow background. Everything in my art does harken back to the rainbow to, um, objectives of acceptance and unity. The rainbow, you know, first begins sort of its journey for many people as almost in a biblical sense. The rainbow is referred to in the Bible many times, and its colors. And then to the queer people, it's a sign of liberation. It's a sign of almost of their acceptance as well. And as a queer person, when you're growing up, it's hard to identify yourself. It's hard to, sort of find your community. A lot like people in the world of Habitat are looking to find a community as well. So you may want to wear a rainbow flag to dare you say, let other people know that you're a queer person so that you can find that acceptance, that home, that space that we're all looking for. And the rainbow sort of brings me there, and it connects with many people in many different ways. So Habitat for Humanity found me, and we did a T-shirt together for a fundraising campaign. So I do lots of different T-shirts for types of brands and companies, but I think what's so special about this is the great event we had behind it. And yes, I brought the T-shirt. I've ripped it up, and I've worked out at it many times too. But so we've got our Built with Pride T-shirt here that we did. Woohoo! Habitat for New York. Okay, so first of all, we needed a fabulous shirt to wear for Pride, right? Because we were marching for Habitat for Humanity. Okay, and yeah, we needed a good shirt to march. We needed a good way to raise some money. So we had this fabulous event with some of the Habitat team and Ricardo and amazing CEO and Karen and everybody fabulous from Habitat came. We raised a ton of money. It was a really special moment for me, particularly to be there and to stand up and to bridge the gap between the LGBTQ community and Habitat for Humanity and the efforts that they can put forth to find housing specifically for LGBTQ, older people in the community who were affected by AIDS and, stigmas of judgment early on in the 60s, 70s, and 80s in New York. And those people still deserve our love and care. They're still living here in New York City. and, compassion for the community that was hit first by so many difficult health hardships, I think is a really, really wonderful way to give back to New York, and is a wonderful way that I feel connected to Habitat and what's so important. And before I go on a little bit, I do want to let you know please hit up the Habitat social media. Yeah, habitatnyc.org. You can learn all the ways you can get involved. We've got some information on Built for Pride up there. Please invite all your friends and family to join tomorrow night's live stream to hear from Habitat's CEO. We have this year's honorees who I designed the award that they'll be receiving. That's another incredible way that I've been involved with Habitat, has been by doing renderings of buildings, which is why you're here today. So there's a very, very special building called Mascot Flats that we're going to talk about. Yeah, so it's a Habitat building that was completed in 1980. President Jimmy Carter, there we go, and the First Lady Rosalind. And 19 homeowners took a burnt out building and built sustainable futures for families. And this is about the time in 2018 when I had designed the Built with Pride t-shirt for a team. So here is Mascot Flats. Here's just sort of a fun rendering of, and yeah, we got the Built with Pride. I wonder if there's a way to flip this around. I bet it's backwards for you, but you know what? If you can't read back, figure it out. So here's Mascot Flats, which is from the 1984, and it was one of the first buildings that Habitat was able to put together that would specifically fit the niche needs of the LGBTQ community. So so many people affected by HIV and AIDS who need continued care. So without further ado, first we're going to have some fun. And first of all, you can't make any mistakes. Okay, no crying out there. Put your pencil erasers away. We're going to do some watercolor, and we're going to do a little bit of drawing. I'm going to teach you how to draw in my style. We're going to redraw this guy, and then we're going to work on watercolor rendering of Mascot Flats. So let's get started first by doing a little bit of my artwork, and I'll inspire you a little bit with this. So you can get started out there if you would like. Basically, the base of any drawing of mine is you want to start with two big eyes and then connect a nose to that. And then you're going to want to do a silly mouth. I'll do one with you, of course, and we'll do one together, and then we'll actually do the heart from the t-shirt. So yeah, let's get started on one little drawing first, and then I'll show you some of the ways that I turn my artwork into fashion, which is how we decided to come up with the t-shirt in the first place. So we got some, like I said, we're going to do an eye, a nose, and a funny mouth. Let's see, I'm wearing glasses today too. A lot of the time I do like to do the three eyes, just to remember you've got a little third eye right there to remember to go to Habitat and donate some money today. Keep us building these houses, keeping these seniors safe. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do 4 eyes to all of them. Watch it. So let's do an eye. Okay, we got to make sure that one of them's looking up. Okay, one of them doesn't know what the other side is doing. So one of the good things about art is that if there's going to be a bunch of things next to each other, make them all different. So you can have as much variation as possible. And let's get this guy right here, and he's going to go looking that way. So now we got to decide on a nose. And boy, does the nose know. I've got a Lady Gaga nose myself. I think my nose is big. I don't know. Some people have not said. So I have this version that I do of a nose. It's got the sides, right? You got those big sides. And see, look. Oh no, the line went through. It doesn't matter. No mistakes. There's no mistakes. So, okay, go down like that. Oh my Lord. Which is nose? Oh, okay, we could do a little witch's nose. That'll be cute. It's Halloween, so look. Huh? Ooh, that's gonna be a mole or a wart. And we'll draw in our little nostrils. Apparently it's a girl, so that's fun. All right, let's do another little wart and a hair. Now we gotta do the mouth. The mouth is the other important part. So we're just doing the basics here. Whatever kind of eyes you want, glasses, and however many eyes you want. And now let's give him a big, what I like to do smiles in a triangle. So, you kind of got the whole triangle thing going on there. So now finish out the mouth and make sure that there's a lip. See, you gotta have a lip. A little bit of detail. Oh, that lip needs a little plumping. Dr. Sizmore. Okay, now let's do a head. All right, there we go. So we've got hair. Not unlike mine. See, I end up doing self-portraits. It's sad. I end up doing self-portraits. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, but now the fun part is, let's draw these teeth. See, I'm telling you, you can pack a lot of fun details about the character in a small space. So you can have some bottom teeth too. Let's deck him out. Oh my Lord. Okay. And then for the same reasons that you want to draw black in the eyes for the intensity, and look at the nose there. We've got the intensity of the inside the nostrils. Ew, inside the nostrils. But yeah, inside the nostrils. Okay. So then we've got the intensity there, the darkness, as you can tell. There's some depth. Serious depth. Seriously. So we've got a nice little mouth there. And let's see. Just some little drippy drips. So have some little dripping from the nose. Maybe she's got a cold. And then let's do a little arm right here. And an arm right there waving. Hello. Oh, okay. Getting close to the bottom of the page there, but you just finish out their little cloud body. So you've made your own little cloud character now. And you're on your way to becoming a famous artist. Famous. Well, I think my mom has told me that one too many times. She thinks I'm famous, so hey, what can you do? She always takes my picture when I'm around. Biggest fan. So a little bit of character art goes a long way. You can do different things like, lost a tooth. It's 2020. You may lose a tooth. That's okay. That's okay, girl. You don't need that tooth. You're special. So let's see here. Let's do. There we go. Habitat. And don't forget, sign your special artwork. That's right. Habitat. Okay, and let's do 2020. So now you've got your habitat, fun, wild character. And what's interesting about art is that that's something I made up all on my own. I decided to start drawing these characters because it spoke to me and it was a way to connect with people. And ultimately, through Habitat for Humanity, I've been able to connect with so many people by doing something like, this t-shirt project that we did together. So as a means of, pushing artwork further, which sort of does bring me to my next point that I wanted to chat about, which is my artistic inspiration. And sort of the philosophy behind the art would be that art belongs to everyone. There's an artist named Keith Haring who died of HIV and AIDS in New York City in the 80s, and he had just turned shy of about 32, 33 years old, and he passed away from complications due to AIDS. So he was a very prolific artist in the city, and once he realized that he had contracted HIV, he completely changed the way he worked and sought out to do as much of his artwork, sort of as quickly as he could, and to sort of to get it in front of as many people as he could. So I do my artwork, the drip work, on different types of bags. I've got the shirt I'm wearing. Here's another type of bag that I do as well. And then here's some examples of some other t-shirts that I've done too. So here's one of my classic studio t-shirts that I've done. And then they range all the way to like the very fun, the very, very colorful, very out loud sort of artwork there. And it's a great way to make money as an artist, of course. But, not everybody can afford a $700 painting. And I mean, in a city like New York City, sometimes it's a $7,000 painting or a $70,000 painting. And that's just not sustainable for everybody. So kind of in the same vein of Habitat is a level of sustainability that must be reached to include everyone, especially people from lower income groups, especially people that maybe never stood a chance in the first place despite all of their efforts, just given the economic status of, something as simple as their zip code of where they were from. So I wanted to read a little section really quick from the journals of Keith Haring. Actually, before he died, he wrote about his philosophy with art, and he says that art is for everybody. To think that they, the public, do not appreciate art because they don't understand it and continue to make art that they don't understand and therefore become alienated from may mean that the artist is one who doesn't understand or appreciate art and is thriving in this self-proclaimed knowledge of art. Art can be a positive influence on society and of individuals. Art can be a destructive element and aid to the takeover of the mass identity society. Art must be considered by artists as well as the public. The artist cannot, however, make his decisions without considering the public. Art for all people all the time. So this is a really interesting idea that sort of came to my head at the beginning of my career as an artist, that I do believe that art belongs to everybody. And I believe that housing belongs to everybody, and that there are just inherently things that happen in the culture that can prevent you from reaching your potential. So if there's anything that I can do anytime with my art as a project to push that love and acceptance out there, I'll absolutely do that. And it was such a privilege to be a part of this. And marching in the New York City Pride Parade, I mean, it's one thing going. It's amazing, and you can feel the energy even when you're just going as an attendee. But marching in it with Habitat for Humanity and everybody in the shirts, and our amazing CEO, the whole team was there, and I was able to bring a bunch of friends in, and it was a really, really, it was an amazing opportunity for all of us. And thank you so much to Ricardo for putting all of that together and bringing in incredible queer talent from LA, Margie Plus, she's a singer and an artist herself. It was great to network and just meet so many different types of people. We had Monet Exchange from RuPaul's Drag Race involved. She came to the t-shirt event that we did in Midtown, where we raffled off a bunch of t-shirts. And actually, my high school theater teacher happened to be in town, came to the event, sort of hooked back up. We got time to catch up. She entered the raffle for the t-shirt and she won. Bring her up on stage, and then I'm standing up there on stage with the team from Habitat, Monet Exchange from RuPaul's Drag Race, and Ricardo from Habitat for Humanity. It was a really fun, full circle type of experience. So without further ado, we can work on our rendering of mascot. Oh wait, first we're gonna draw the little heart guy next, and then we're gonna do our, we'll just keep him up there. We're gonna do our rendering of mascot flags. So, and look, if you have a pencil, get out your pencil. If you got a pen, get out your pen. If you have a big colored marker, you better get that out too. All right. Don't act like you didn't think there was going to be branding on the cup. The branding never stops. Just to say. Oh, here's actually some examples I'll show you of Keith Haring's artwork. See, so he's got a really strong Lower East Side graffiti element to the work, as well as lots of interesting character work and a foundation in clothing. So he used to have a shop called the Pop-Up Shop in the Lower East Side. And, as he became older, he was doing murals all around the world for dance companies and children's hospitals, children's schools, all sorts of incredible different types of lined character artwork. Here's some of his mural work as well. So yeah, he's had many, many murals. Here he is at the pop-up shop. We kind of look similar, thank you. I'll take it. Here he is working. And working on a mural. So he's a huge inspiration and an artist gone too soon. He's a really special person in my life. And if you liked that reading I did earlier, you can actually buy the book of all of his journals. His sisters put together a book of his journals that are very, very touching. So here we go. What we're going to do, get your pen out, paper out, whatever you got. Let's just start by doing a little heart up there to sort of get the idea. And then the hands are going to come out from the top there, and then we're going to add some feet at the bottom, sort of right there. So there's going to be a weird type of, we're going to leave open a little there, and there. So you want to draw it once just to get the idea, and then maybe practice over here. There you go. If you can draw that shape, leave 4 holes in your heart. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And then I'm going to do one more. You can do as many as you want. They're fun. Okay. All right. I'll give you a second to catch up. Get your little hearts going. Absolutely. All right. And we'll start here for the technique with just this little guy right here. First, let's get some eyes going. You can do a line and then a loop over the line. We could do circles here. I like to integrate any type of shape that you can into anything else. It's always easy. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Go in with a triangle. We could spice it up. Rectangle. Okay. It's a spicy, sassy Monday morning. Okay. Look at that. That's a new idea. I've never even done the whole 2-eye thing before. This is getting good. All right. Then you want to do a little nose there. Let's get a little nose there. And we'll do another little nose there. So they do look a little funny, but like I said, it's all about basic shapes. You don't need to get too crazy. And a lot of the thing is, you don't need to get hung up on anything it's supposed to look like. It's not supposed to look like anything. So it can look like anything. I'm going to do some more eyes here. And just point the little white part in the eye for the direction that you want the eye to be looking. So we want this guy to look that way. Let's get those little white dots right there. And fill in the rest. Okay, and fill in the rest. Look at that. He's a... Y'all, I need a studio audience. I wish I could just I mean, it is COVID. And you can't really have a studio audience right now, but I would be running through the aisles. I would do it. I told Ricardo, this is going to go into syndication. So you're catching the first episode of my brand new show. I need to talk to Drew Barrymore. I heard her ratings are dropping. Maybe I can slide in. Okay. We got our fun little characters now. So I did a nose, which is just kind of an odd shape. And we're going to do some dots there to fill in the nose. And now we're going to do the mouths. So we've got 3 different characters here. So we can, I always do like to make my character smiling and happy. But if there's a bunch of them, just to vary the levels of emotion in the scene, I do like to make a sad one or a scared one. So this one, who's doing? He's scared. He's scared that people won't vote. So he wants people to go vote. So let's make sure. Oh my goodness. He's scared people aren't going to the polls. I'm not scared because I know everybody's voting. I know everyone is voting. All right. Okay. See, he's a little. Right? That he's stressed. It's an election year. He can't handle it. Okay. And then here over here, this person, they are so happy to be here. This is me. Happy to be here this morning, folks. Let's give a little tongue action in there. Yeah. Always love to include the little tongue. It's super easy. So if this is your mouth, there's your teeth. And then you just, whoop, you kind of just draw a little M in there and then color it in. There's the mouth. So we've got some, oh, here, let's see what is this one doing? Oh, some lips, sideways lips. But anyway, all right. Oh, and one of the fun things I like to do also is make their feet really small and their hands really big. Are you ready? So let's give them some tiny feet, but they will be wearing sneakers. So here we go. Look at this. Shoot. And another little shoe. The legs can be bendy. The legs can be straight. The legs can be super tiny. Where's he going? Okay, he's going to be dragging his body around. Okay, and then let's do this one with some long legs. There are some long ones. All right, now the fun part. Let's do some really long, windy arms. So fill in those holes, and we'll do some real fun, windy arm up. And let's wind that arm up too. You can do any kind of hand you want too. So I just kind of do, that insinuates the big fingers, that insinuates the small ones. So then let's do this hand going up over here. Okay, and then this last hand is gonna come all the way over here. All right. Oh, this guy needs some hands too. And this is a part where you can just do whatever you want. And the fun thing is it all connects because we are all connected. Everybody at Habitat, everybody who lives in Mascot Flats, everybody is connected. So that's a huge element of the art as well. Connection that you'll see in lots of my work. So you'll see here, they're absolutely connected with their arms. And here for our little fun heart group that we've done here. So let's see. Let me grab my Mascot Flats again. And here we go. So let's do a little drawing of Mascot Flats. I want to tell you a little bit more about it, actually. Yes, here we go. Yeah, so that was the very, very, very first Habitat building. That's right. Okay, and it was the building for LGBTQ housing, which is interesting because there's a really intense interview process to get into the housing for Habitat for Humanity. So there's a lot of hardship. There's a lot of hardship out there to sort of overcome. And Mascot Flats is one of the wonderful opportunities that Habitat for Humanity has given. And it really connects with me specifically. Why I told you so much about the artist who inspired me is because he died of HIV and AIDS. And as a queer person myself, we do what we need to do to protect ourselves. And being that in any community, you may be susceptible to health risks. So it's particularly touching to me to see, an artist who died of a disease, and a disease that's been taken so seriously now that Habitat for Humanity would advocate for the housing of those affected. And it was a different experience for people here in New York City, and they do need that extra step of love and care, because a lot of the time, LGBTQ youth, I work for a lot of different organizations, and one of them mainly is one where we keep open a chat line for LGBTQ youth. Especially trans youth these days with what's, going on in the political climate. Not everybody feels safe. And, people of color at a disadvantage who are also, in the queer community in New York City, statistically will receive less, are more likely to die on the streets, are more likely to not get accepted into homeless shelters. So it's so important that we have Habitat for Humanity here, to be finding people like me and Ricardo to show so many different multifacets of Habitat for Humanity and all the amazing endeavors that they have, and how touching and connected I am with this. So to start with the house here, I have 3 easy steps, right? Just this whole house. So we want to draw a trapezoid to start. So it's kind of like, you're going to do a little, and it doesn't matter if the lines are straight, but you just go up like that. So there we go. So to start, and then all you need to do is 6 different levels. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start with the door. There you go. And I like doing these little circles up here because in the rendering there's some circles. And we've got 7 windows across. So what you want to do is get your marker together there and go through, and you can do all of your windows. It is a little bit easier if you would like. What you can do as far as your watercolors go, I put in some of the techniques here that I used for the watercolor awards that are given out. So I did a rendering, 2 more renderings of Mascot Flats that are framed, and they're being given to the honorees for Habitat for Humanity. And one of the little techniques I wanted to say is start your painting by getting your brush in the water and just sort of go over the whole, you can sort of go over the whole thing. You just kind of want to get it started by getting the page a little bit wet if you're going to do some watercolor. We won't get too intense here. Yeah, because we got a little bit of time left together, but I do want to just at least start you off. You'll just get the tiniest touch of black on the tip and then go over the whole thing like this. And that's going to get you started for the base. And then you can go in and do blue for the windows over the gray. that you're doing. So to get gray, to get that concrete color, we're going to just barely touch the paint in the black and go real slow. Okay, so you'll get your base level like that. And you'll find that the more you put your brush in the paint, the much thicker it's going to be. So you'll learn to be able to do what's called a wash. So you're going to be able to fade it. The more water, see, the more water you put in there. So that's called a color wash right there. And that's how you can get some of the really fun effect of whether it's daytime over here and you want to do some orange, you can do it in the really cool color wash that we've learned. And yeah, and then you can just sort of spread that out by intensity and it'll get you set going. And one of the really, really fun things that I particularly like about watercolor is that we can grab some green right here, just right off the bat. So make sure it's nice and dark. Hello. And then I can add another color right there on top of it. And you've got this great sort of mixed color thing going on. So you can evoke all sorts of different types of moods and emotions and things like that. Oh, here we go. I'm back. I was going to say, I am a solo act, right? Okay. So here we go. Yeah. Perfect. And you can even throw in a little bit of red for the purposes of our color wash. See? So we've got some really nice stuff going on up there. And then you can do the blue for your windows and you'll be all set. And don't mean to rush you through your mascot flats by any means, but draw your trapezoid, get 6 different levels and 7 windows across there. And before I go, let's see here. I want to just follow up with a little bit more. Oh, wow. Yeah, this was the other building that I wanted to bring up. One of the other things about Habitat that you may not have known is about the future of affordable housing for the LGBTQ community seniors in New York. That's what I was sort of bringing up earlier. Habitat NYC partnered with Penrose and Riseborough to develop a 123-unit, deeply affordable, LGBTQ-friendly rental complex for seniors in Little Italy. So actually, Mascot Flats may not have been it was the first building. It wasn't specifically for the LGBTQ needs. That is, this new building down in Little Italy. I just got a little confused there. Very important to take care of the queer seniors in the community, as the ones that those were people mainly affected by, HIV and AIDS. So please continue today to check out the Habitat for Humanity social media. Yeah, it's habitatnyc.org. Check it out. There's information on Built with Pride. So if you're interested in getting involved, if you want to march in the Pride Parade, if you have an idea for a way that, Habitat for Humanity can further connect with the housing needs of the LGBTQ community, that NYC Instagram account. They're so fun and so wonderful. So if you can do anything so that we can keep building incredible opportunities like this for disenfranchised people all over the city, whether they be LGBTQ or not. That just happens to be something that touches my heart and something that I work for in the community already. So it was a wonderful opportunity to be able to work with Habitat for this. Oh my gosh, next up is the webinar for mindfulness. I think we could all use some wonderful mindfulness. So I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in with me, for doing your art class. If you one of my silly little characters, feel free to share it. Who doesn't love that? I mean, come on. Oh, Lord, it's going to fall. But yeah, we've got Habitat's next Pride t-shirt. Okay, right here. Yeah, thank you so much for drawing with me. Thank you for painting with me. Thank you for learning about Keith Haring, the amazing New York City artist, for learning about Mascot Flats, Habitat for Humanity's first building. And yeah, it's been really fun. My name's Tyler Wallach. You can find me on my social media under Tyler Wallach Studio on Instagram.